Hello everyone, welcome to day 332 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. Starting with the black pieces, we get e4 as the opening, so I'll play the Caro-Kann here. They push. I'll bring my bishop out. They play this knight move. I could play e6 now. I can also play this. Just give some room for my knight. Oh, they develop the bishop. I could trade that bishop off. But if I do trade the bishop off, they can develop their knight and maybe start an attack on this side of the board. But I think I should probably just take this anyway. The queen takes, I can push and then develop my knight. But they do have checks now, so I have to be careful. If I push, I stop any kind of check. I think pushing is fine here. I can develop my knight like this. And long term try to pressure this pawn. So I'll play e6 here. And try to just develop my knight up. Bring it out. They just castle. I don't want to play knight to g6 because then they can damage my structure. And I just want to play like this. Knight to f5, bishop e7. Maybe try and castle. I could castle long, but that looks quite dangerous. And we get a very closed position here. I had a feeling they'd play that move, but now I can kick the bishop away with this move. They're trying to stop me from developing the knight, but I'll force the bishop away so that I'm able to play this. Okay, wow, they just go back. They want to keep the pin. I could go here and attack the pawn. Then I also have this move coming next, which could be nice. I'm just attacking a pawn, threatening to trap the rook. If I take, they can play knight here. But then this force, so. And if they push here, I just take, they defend like this and open up this. Now I have this move. I hit the bishop. The bishop is trapped, so I will win it, which is great for me. They play like this, maybe trying to just protect the knight. I'll play here. The knight takes, I can develop my bishop like this. They play knight back, now I can't play bishop g5 attacking this. I do want to bring my knight back to this square though. And I think to do that, well, without take two tempos, I think dropping my bishop back isn't the best move. I think I can castle this side now. I don't want to castle this way because even though there's this defense here, they can maybe start an attack, kill some pawns and rooks. I think I'll castle short, just this way. They've castled on the same side. My pawns are stopping their knights from going anywhere, which is very good. Now I just want to drop my bishop back and probably just reroute my knight this way. Although it doesn't really have anywhere to go from this square. So I'm not sure how we're gonna play this. I can bring a rook to the c-file and protect this. Like this. Knight back, maybe trying to go like this. Now I can play just bishop back and knight through this way. And we're gonna have a very slow development game. I'm not really sure where they're trying to go, maybe here. But now I'm just going to play here and here. And if they play here, I can probably play here. And try to go for something like this. Yeah, I'm actually wondering if I can play knight to g6, then knight to f4, threatening knight to d3. That could be a way to play, because then I can threaten to fork the rook and win a pawn, so that seems like a good way through. I don't want to open up this queen. I need to be careful of their knights. Though at the moment I'm completely safe. This square looks really natural for the knight, but as I said, it can't really go anywhere. It has no squares in that square. And if we trade like this, then they would win a pawn, and then I just help them come through. So queen over. Could think about rook lift trying to win this, but I think the bad plan is just to go for this. They're not threatening that much at the moment. They can jump forward and try something here, but I'm just going for this. Knight f4, I hit the queen, but then I also hit this, which could be really good for me. Rook over, I mean, I'm still threatening some stuff. This square is fantastic for the piece. I mean, queen over, I still have this. I can also play like this. And wow, I wish I had the check here. For example, if I played bishop here, I could threaten a discovered attack on the queen. I could still try that, but then they always just take my bishop, and that doesn't work. I'll go for this. It's just an outpost for my knight. They can't really remove it easily now, which is good news for me. If I could activate my bishop on this diagonal, that would be amazing, but I don't see how I do that. They'll probably try to sack the rook for the knight, which makes sense. I wish I could try and rook lift here and go for my plan. I mean, this is a skewer now. And I pin the rook, they'd have to take. Yeah, so here, takes. This looks like a good move now, but just takes. They'd win a pawn, actually. I could go here, but I don't threaten anything. I'll go for the skewer. They just take, as expected. The knight comes in, maybe trying to... I mean, I can't really go anywhere right now. I can play here and try to give my king just some space. Well, the knight doesn't really have anywhere to go actually after this. Except for this square, so that would be really bad for me. Let's just go ahead and move the rook. They can sacrifice to win a pawn. I need to make some room for my king now. So just rook over. I see their plan now. Going for the attack on the pawn. I can't really drop back to defend it now. If I play here, takes. I'd love to play rook up and just attack this. Well, I can pin this to the back rank, but I can't really use that. Where do I go with my queen? If I go here, yeah, I don't really have any good squares here. And after this, they're threatening to take, so that's quite bad for me. If I push here, the pawn becomes pinned, so I have to give up this. I'll start the journey of my kings. They take with the queen. Yeah, just don't have a way through here. And I'm allowing them to win a pawn here and stun attack, so I need to be careful. Well, after takes, they attack this too, so I'd have to push. And yeah, I do need to be careful. Queen takes, threatening a big check. Now after this, they have this. I don't even have a check or anything. I can't really give up the queen. If I take here, I don't have anything there. This is a terrible position now. If I push, they take here anyway. This is protected. I can't protect again. I can only push. That's literally my only move. And then the queen comes in to f6. And yeah, they're just threatening mate. It's a very dangerous position. I mean, I have to push. I don't see any way I can get out of this otherwise. I do see some tactics where I could open up my queen, but that doesn't really work. I have to push. There's no other way. Then they play here, and yeah, I'm in huge trouble. They also have a check now. And then this is very bad. I'll have to give up all of these pawns. They probably have a check. Yeah, they just threatened this now, which is a mate. Here they have a discovered check. But the knight can't actually go anywhere, that's useful. Without me taking it. Oh, wow. Okay, that's the check that I missed. They found it straight away. I had to go to... Oh, I couldn't go to e8 after this. I missed knight takes. Yeah, now I'm losing my queen. Well played. They played that move instantly. It's a nice find. I just missed. I thought the knight would only if the knight went to e8 or d7, I'd be able to take it. On g8, it wouldn't do very much. But I did miss this one key move, knight d5. Now I'm just down the hole. Queen for a piece. I only have my rooks and my knight left. Now a win is almost impossible. They're trying to take on f7. I probably have to protect that with my... Can't protect it with the king because of checks. I'll play this rook move, which is really weak. And yeah, this is really bad for me. It's unwinnable now. They're trying to probably remove a rook or come in here. I don't even have something like this. If I try to protect the pawn, I just lose it. If I run my king here, I have to run my king to the corner. If they come in to attack it, the pawn, I might have to lose it actually. King here, they can't come in, but then they just come in and attack me anyway. It's just a terrible position. Knight takes d5 was a great move. I'm surprised they played it so quickly as well. What did they play? They played this, pinning my rook. Now takes, I have to go here. Yeah, they still just go ahead and attack this. But I can repeat moves here. I have to be very careful to not blunder the rook. I have no moves, no good moves. My knight is completely stuck. It can't come back into the game. All these squares are just occupied. Queen back, attacks this. I have to play here. It's just a bad position. Obviously the way they win this is by just pushing through. If they allow me too much counterplay, I'd be able to do good. If I play here, I can put my knight on this square, but it doesn't ever threaten anything. I can push here, but it doesn't do anything. I could try to get my rook behind here, but that doesn't do much. If I run my king now, they take. If I run my king here, it's the only way I can activate the rook, really. They allow me to take en passant. I don't think I should, because that also undefends my knight if I do. But I take, if they take... Yeah, so I take, they take, I take. I don't even win anything. So yeah, they take, I take, they take. If I push, there's nothing there. I can't really take that. I can instead play this. That's a very aggressive move. If I play here, still there's nothing. There's no escape. I have to play rook here. And then after king here, well, I do have check now, but the rook is there. Nothing here. If I give a check, the king just runs. The king can't really do damage by himself. If I go here, the problem is after going here, I can't move the rook off the 7th rank because this would fall. So how do I play this? I don't even know. I can bring a rook to the center, but then they break through this side. It's just a bad position. Checks would do something, but not the best. I think just king over and trying to give up the rook. Let's see. If I can give up my rook for this pawn. Okay, now there's no check as well. So here I can block them off, but they just take. If I play here, they take. But then I can play this move. I play here, they take. I don't even have a pin on the queen or anything. This move, if they take, I have this, pinning the pawn. But then if the queen takes, then the game is over. Basically over. My rook can't do very much this game. They can just put their rook on h1 and try to push their h-pawn, and then that way they would win the game. Yeah, they can just push that h-pawn and be doing very well. If I push my king here, There's actually nothing there for me. If I push, they just take. I can't free this rook up at all. If I could, then maybe I'd have a chance. How do I free the rook? Getting my king to this square is the only way, but then I hang this with the check, so I'm just paralyzed here. I can't do much. I have no good moves. They also have this check now. Oh, they'll be picking up this pawn, I think. Wow, with the check as well. And then this. I mean, rook can go here, but there's just checks. If I bring my rook behind, it doesn't really help. Here, check, I just play here. I mean, nothing there. They can also pick up this and hit my knight. And check. I mean, I can probably try to run. But then they always get their queen to this square and check me. I'll just block. If I did have my... Okay, not my queen. I'm down a queen for piece. But if I had two pieces against this queen now, it would probably be savable. I mean, now they've allowed my king to get down here. But then this is still a big threat. And my rook isn't really going anywhere. I mean, now I'm desperate for this move. Trying to take with discoveries. My plan isn't to take the pawn. It's just to play rook a3 and try to take here. Obviously king back would blunder a fork. I'll try my best to play on here. I don't think there's anything I can do. I can't even take because the queen just takes. They can literally push through. They can't allow me to take this though because that's too dangerous. I mean, they have to play rook down here. And I mean, that would sacrifice the rook, but it's a winning move, this move. They can't allow me to take this. Also, queen here just is a good move. And they do play it. It's a good move. Now I can probably try to take here and run my king. I could also just run my king by itself. They can't allow me to take this pawn. And probably queen here. They can't play actually queen to these two squares. Or here. Luckily for me, if I take this, it's just a big threat. A rook here is probably a winning move. Even though it gives up the rook. I lose my knight. They just have a queen and so many extra pawns. I have 4 pawns, they have 8. They go ahead and take. I can take with my king. For now. But then they just push their b pawn and I'm completely lost. I probably take with the pawn. If they just push here, they've completely won the game. Yeah, they just push. There's nothing here. If I go here, they just take. I could have tried maybe to get my rook here, but that's not possible. There's no sacrifices. If I push, I can move the knight, but that stops my attack. Or actually, after this, I'd be threatening a tactic, taking a pawn. So I'll go for this. If they push, I play knight here. Threatening to take here. Because after takes, the knight have a fork. So now takes, queen takes, fork. They have to move their king right now, or they lose the game. Well, not the game. I'd win the queen. Okay, so takes, they take, I have a fork, but they still promote, so I can't get back in time to defend. Yeah, they just make another queen, even though I found a nice tactic here. It's a really nice tactic, but they just promote. They promote, I have to take the rook, I guess. But if I do, I just lose. Oh wow, I can't actually get back to defend as well. If they play... Why did they save their rook? It's a good move, but they're just promoting. If I allow them to promote... There's nothing here for me. Could play knight here and knight... I mean, what's the fastest way to defend this square? I don't even know. Nothing here for me. It would take like 4 moves. If I go here... I'm just lost here. I can take a pawn, but it doesn't do much. Yeah, they just queen. They're threatening so much here. Actually, king g6, they just have mate, actually. Just crazy. If I play here, I can at least block. But then rook. There's so many mates here. King here is just check. Here is check. Check, I have nothing there, actually. They can't check me here, though. Here, there's this check. Here, there's probably this check. This is mate, almost. Good game to them. Let's look at this game. They played on an 87, I played on an 80. And the game was completely equal up to a point. Then I made two mistakes back to back, which just gave away all of my advantage. This bishop move was very bad, but this rook move was worse. Let's see this from the start. I played the Caro-Kann. I always play this move c5, which just actually apparently gives up a pawn if they just take and play queen here. So it's never a good choice. I have to trade that bishop off. Pushing isn't best, I'm supposed to just trade. I develop my knight. Kick the bishop away. That's a mistake. Oh wow, because I can play this, and if they play here I have this. And I just win the bishop. So yeah, here, there's this and this. Then they play what? Knight b d2. Knight b to d2. Takes. I see. So I was slightly better here. I was thinking of g5. I thought it just exposed my king too much. These moves weren't the best. I knew queen back here was a good move to just protect these squares, but I rotate my knight this way. I find a fantastic square for the knight. I knew this bishop move was probably weak because they just win a pawn, but I felt like if I skewer them, they could probably make some kind of mistake. They just play here probably and win this. But the best move was what they played probably. No, what was the best move? Knight h5. And the point is they can, yeah, move the rook. And that's exactly what happened here. They found knight h5. I had to play knight back here and actually just lose a pawn. Knight back takes. They just win the pawn. Rook to the center is really bad for me because I stopped my queen from defending this. And I also don't defend the pawn. And so yeah, this move g6 was necessary. They play knight in. I can't do anything here. I had to move my queen out of the way first, which is crazy. My king's about to be checkmated and I have to move my queen. Because of knight takes d5, obviously this would lose the piece if I was able to take two ways. But the queen checks me, so I have to move and they just pick up my queen. And here I try my best to defend, but there's nothing really there. And I even allowed their queen in with a check winning a pawn. 2 pawns actually. And yeah, even though this tactic was a nice find, it doesn't do anything. Let's say this pawn was on this square, all the way back, or on, sorry, just somewhere here, a few tempos back. This is then a big threat because they have to take my rook because I pick up the queen, and I'd win the queen with tempo on the rook. And that would be very defendable. But because of their pawn just being on the 7th rank, my tactic doesn't do anything. It's just checkmate in 6 moves. And they find it. Well done to them. The biggest blunder this game was, apart from king e7, which wasn't even the worst move on the board, which just loses a queen for a piece. The only mistake this game that I really think was bad was the move bishop g5. Because it just lets them win a pawn and create a big attack on me. So that was really bad from me, but that's it for today's game. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.